Immigration to Ireland fell last year despite a 40% increase in asylum applications. A new report from the ESRI shows overall immigration dropped by 16% up to April 2024, with around 125,300 people arriving. The decrease is largely linked to fewer arrivals from Ukraine after changes to state supports, including reduced payments and a 90-day accommodation limit for new arrivals. Emigration also decreased, with 65,600 people leaving the state. But pressure on the asylum system continued to grow. International protection applications rose by 40%, and while the International Protection Office increased decision-making by more than half, median processing times still stood at 16 months. Of over 13,000 decisions issued, 70% were refusals. The appeals backlog grew by 148%, and almost 6,000 asylum seekers weren't offered accommodation on arrival throughout the year. The report also highlights rising enforcement. Voluntary and enforced deportations increased significantly, with voluntary deportations up 345% and enforced deportations up 153%. Ireland has opted into 7 new EU migration laws due to take effect next June, and the state has published a strategy to scale up accommodation following legal action from the Irish Human Rights and Equality Commission. 67 people were identified as victims of human trafficking last year, most of them women and most trafficked for sexual exploitation. 14 prosecutions were initiated, but Ireland remains a Tier 2 country under US rankings, meaning it does not fully meet minimum standards. And pressures on children's services continued. There were 570 unaccompanied minors taken into care last year, most of them from Ukraine, while more than 7,200 child asylum applications were pending by the end of the year, an 80% increase on 2023. For more on this story, read The Irish Independent.